Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Does the audio work for you, by the way?
Yes, it
Okay.
works. Yes.
I am outside, and so if anything gets loud, we'll know. I was also going to stream us to Facebook if that worked.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we're going to stream to Facebook. And so we literally just met. So what I would say, Finn is your Zoom name here. Is that the name you want to go by?
Yes, exactly. That's my name.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. And then I'm gonna go live. Okay, cool. Well, first off, I just before I even like as we begin, just props to you for just leaping into this. Like it's just showing up online like I really live here, I really exist here. And you're like, me too. Okay, let's go. And just you're really doing it. So I just appreciate you being in it for real. It's like you exist here. Thank you.
Yes, I think life is very spontaneous and you gotta go with the flow
Yeah.
and then meet and do the things you gotta do.
Yeah, like this is real life. We can actually just like hop on a call and meet each other. And that's what I like to say too. I kind of told you too. I have a radical way of being. I'm actually friends with my Facebook friends. So I definitely reach out. It's like you can follow if you want. If you're part of a friend group, like let's all come together and be family. I just know for me, I've been through a lot and it's been lonely. And I'm here to create a community and a family. And yes, it's lonely. And I don't believe we have to be alone. And so I just really appreciate the way you love the world.
Yes, I think it's very important that we connect more with each other, and it can be on the physical plane or through Messenger or through apps or Facebook, but just to show each other that we care about each other and we support each other. That's important, I think.
Yes, I agree. And so I'm guessing, so I'm in United States. I'm just guessing that with your accent you might be in a different country.
Yes, I'm in Belgium now in Europe.
Okay, awesome. I am extremely ignorant when it comes to anything outside of the four walls of the state I live in. So I'm excited to expand my horizons and yeah, the ignorance in this brain here is a lot. So I have a lot to learn and just yeah, just appreciate your courage to lean in.
Yeah, you live in a big country, so I understand it's not very normal to learn outside the US because it's so huge.
Yeah, I say it that way. It's just also, I don't know, I'm just very conditioned to like be afraid of everything. So it's like other worlds or other countries and all this stuff. And it's like we're all on this planet together. I don't know why we have to be afraid of each other.
Yes, and the news is always making us afraid of leaving the country and going other places. But I traveled around the world for about 7 years. I lived in Asia and South America. I visited Africa, and the world is actually going quite well. But in the news, it's always negative.
Right?
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yeah, it is wild. We're probably just in different places in America is probably more dangerous than any all the fears of the other spaces that yeah, it's wild the fear that can just get you just get frozen because you're just afraid. And so with that, what do I want to say? How do I want to start us? I really just want to speak to something that moved me and what you shared instantly was just you want people to feel like they're known and loved. You want people to feel heard. I don't know what wants to show up for you. It's just not everyone goes through life that way. So is there anything specific or a catalyst moment in your life that you were like, this is how I'm gonna be, and you just went that direction?
I think we always learn the most from our own experience. So when we suffer from something, we don't want others to suffer the same way.
Hmm.
So I think that goes for all of us, and especially maybe with our children, we feel like this,
Hmm.
but we can feel like this with everybody. So I feel like the things I went through, I don't want other people to go through it. So I try
Hmm.
to comfort them and help them so they can have a better experience than what I had.
Same. I'm like, that was brutal. I want to make it never be that brutal for anybody else again. Like if I can do anything to make sure this is easier for you, isolation and loneliness is I mean, at least as we speak in America, it's a pandemic. It's everyone's in this isolation with whatever's happened globally. And coming out of that, I know for me, just nervous system mentally, it's not easy to re-enter back into reality. So I don't know if that's kind of how community or existence lives where you're at currently in the country.
Yes, and I think the technology made it very easy for all of us to stay at home and just stay on our phone the whole time. So we got to be more careful with the technology that we use, so we use it for our benefit and not for our downfall.
That's what I'm for too. I was had a podcast this morning actually with Samuel, and we were like, okay, there's a space between both worlds that we can create, and how do we build that out? And that's much of my existence. I know we just met, and I have 144,000 followers on TikTok, all around ADHD and autism. And so with that, it's like at least for me, I find comfort online compared to not being able to translate myself in person as easily. And it's like, how do we actually come together and create a family? Because that's what it feels like online. It's just bringing that into the human form is more challenging for me.
Yes, but it's great what you're doing, and I think the ability that you can reach so many people, it's extraordinary. So I'm very thankful for your work there.
Yes, and thank you for your courage to lean in and show the world that it's actually what I want to say is scary and safe. Like it's gonna like I don't know if how much you show up online already. I have someone else who is like, I'll talk with you, just not on a podcast. I'm like, it's the same to me. I don't have like a barrier of like I don't get the private conversation. It's like I just if people want to have a conversation with me, great. And if not, how do we get comfortable being live? Because it's like if I met you in person, it would be live. You know, we'd see each other in
Yeah.
that. So just being able to normalize just hanging out and getting to hang out as a family.
Yes, and I feel like when you live honestly with yourself, then you don't have anything to hide. So you can just speak naturally. But then if you got like fears and stuff coming up, then it's a different story. So I think it's a good something we can all work on
Yeah,
to improve.
it is an easy way to work through like even like trauma therapy. Like it is even just an easy way to stretch yourself and become more comfortable in your own body when you show up. And I always like to like make sure people know that it's like there's no expectations. I don't have much expectations other than just wanting to meet. And I think this is important for me too. It's like as I create Facebook friends and want the community, it's like I want my community to know who you are and follow your account and actually get to know each other too. So whether they be quick calls or going deeper if there's things that you offer to the world and what you're up to on social media. I believe you use the internet with intention if you exist here. So if someone is connected to you or following you, what like you show up on the internet with intention. So it's like what's your heart behind the what you post and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. So I learned a technique that's called soul body fusion, which
Mm.
is similar to Reiki,
Ooh.
and it's energy healing. And we work with energy that comes from the universe, and we transmit it to the other person to heal the blockages and the wounds.
I have body chills since
So,
you're speaking. So obviously, yeah, I'm in there with you. I could feel it already.
and then I've been following some masters like Sadhguru, but also in Christianity, I've been involved in going to church and stuff. So, and as well as Islam and Buddhism and Hinduism. So, I'm trying to show the world that we can combine
Mm.
what we know, combine the cultures and the religions to connect us more instead of separating us. So I
Mm.
think that's
I love that. And we all want it, like we all want it to make sense and we want it to feel good. And it's like you sounds like you've kind of like culminated and you're like, yes, and also like we have so much further to go. We're just now exploring and landing here. So how do we explore even more and the safety of discovery. I think that's what I hear and you're sharing too. Like it doesn't have to
yes,
be scary. It's like you get to learn and discover.
yes, and often we don't even know our neighbors because they may have a different skin color or a different religion that we have. And if we just get to know them, then we see that the fear goes away. So everything you shine your light on, the fear will go away. So it's only by resisting change that you stay afraid. But if you allow it, then you will be allowed to see the beauty of life and the truth.
And as I hear that too, like with all that's happening, it's more of just you can resist it and it's gonna happen anyways. Or you could be you could like partner with the resistance and then like the process we're all going through in this awakening process, like we're gonna get to the other side eventually. And just how can we partner with it and have it be simple and easy and dare I say fun. And I know for so many of us, fun has not been the possibility in this process. And that's what I want to bring in, that we actually can enlighten that healing process. And a fact I love to preach out, to learn something with fun is 4 times. To learn something without fun, it's 20 times. And so for me, it's just how can we bring fun in? Because I don't want this to take longer than it has to in the world of feeling good and getting to well-being.
Yes, exactly. And we should all be like children. They learn while playing, and somehow after the age of 5, we seem to forget to laugh and to play and to dance and to sing.
Yes.
So that's something to just practice, even if it's in the shower or just in your room alone, dancing, putting on some nice music, and you'll just see you can be a child again. You can enjoy life, and you deserve to be happy. You can give yourself that gift. and you're the only person who can give it to you, but you're also the only person who can take it away.
Mm,
So
mm,
it's
mm,
important
mm.
to release ourselves, and we can allow ourselves to be happy again.
Allow ourselves to be happy again. It's so real, the risk and cost of like just yeah, just being able to be happy and bring it in. And it's yeah, it's wild. It makes sense we are the way that we are. And it's just like, oh, it could be that easy. I like to say it's like the concept of where you're like looking for the ketchup in the fridge. Like that's kind of enlightenment for me. It's like it's just right there. It's just right there. And I know you can't like you've been looking for it for forever. And I know that it's hiding and just it's been so long and it's kind of the time here. And I love what you said too, and I don't know how I believe I friended you through my husband's account and just this experience of uh, the golden rule, like love your neighbor as yourself. Like we still haven't got that one down 2000 years later, and it's like, are we really wanting more teaching? Because it's like, can we just get that one down first? And then after we get that
Yeah,
one down, let's grow into more esoteric wisdom. It's just like, how do we love our neighbor first and start there?
yes, exactly. It's being more practical also with religion and with ethics and philosophy, just being practical. Okay, how can I apply this today? How can I do this now? Not
Yeah.
tomorrow, not this week, but how can I help my neighbor? How can I help this grandma? Just when you see someone who needs help, just help them.
Yeah.
And don't ask too many questions. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Maybe next time, just do it, like
The
Nike says.
yeah, like exactly. They got that from somewhere a long time ago. That makes a lot of sense. And I like to say my love knows no bounds and I love boundaries. And it is such a cost and a risk to love that big. And people don't understand it. And for me, it's just like, how can you not? And people feel like you're like, what are you up to? And what are you wanting? And I'm like, I get that. We've had it abused for so long in different ways. And also like let it not stop us still. Like let us keep going and loving in that way. And it can be really just simple. I think you said it too, and how you, or at least I read into it, is just being kind to the people you're around. Like it's that simple. Like we think it has to be some extravagant event, and literally just acknowledging, waving, saying hi, like you're amazing, just any goodness, it literally does change someone's whole entire vibrational experience in life and like puts them on another octave just by you showing up and being kind. Like that's the power we hold in our system.
Exactly. And sometimes the world may seem so negative that we think we're doing a good job by complaining about it or seeing it in the negative way. But actually, just making a small action of kindness will give you the feeling of control, that you're in control. You can help someone, you can do something, you can make this place a better world. And that allows you to feel happy about it. Even if you don't solve the issues,
Mm-hmm.
you're contributing towards the solution. You're going in the right direction.
Mm.
So that's the most important thing.
I love the
Yes.
way you said that too, because yeah, so the concept I've created is called Team Human, and there's like 8 billion of us all on the same team. We're all on this together, and it's like if we all just 8 billion of us just made sure we treated ourselves kind before we even treat anyone else kind. If we just be kind to the 24 hours a day, 7 days a week experience that is inside of myself, if I just start there, if we all just did that individually, like it might be a different experience on the planet. And just that internal dialogue is so brutal, at least for me, or had been for me. I have a process that's called mind monsters to mantras. I take some of the meanest things that have been said to me and they become my mantras in life because I just like it's so good. Like I could you'll do better next time. That was one. I'm like, yes, I'll do better next time. I get to swing and a miss and I'll try better next time. And just taking what was trying to heart me, which also said harm me, you can empower yourself with that same kind of concept.
Yes, yes, it's true. And it's important, as you said, to be kind to ourselves. And sometimes it's easier to be kind to someone else than to ourselves because we judge ourselves with very high expectations. So sometimes it's easier to be nice to someone else because we feel like they didn't do anything wrong, so they deserve happiness. And by being kind to someone else, we can show ourselves this kindness that we have it in us.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be somewhere there so we can even as well allow us to feel it as well.
I love that. I also too, I've actually been to Sadhguru's place in Tennessee. So I've actually been on his thing too. So I meant to mention that earlier, but I do love his stuff too. And that's something that matters to us. And then what this is a teal swan concept I heard that I really loved what she was working through, where she was at, she would like essentially trick herself into loving herself by talking to her water and was like, okay, water, I love you. And then she'd drink it. And then she's like forced to love herself because she drank the water she spoke love into. So it is what we've been programmed into is so upside down, so divorced, so distracted, and so dissociated that it is so impossible to love us. And if there's not our own ability to give our own self love, the path of this life is brutal, and it does make sense why people don't want to be here when that's what you are living inside of. The strength that people have inside of themselves when they're programmed into that brutality, the strongest people on the planet, and it's just being able to unleash that to where the love can come through on the other side.
Yes, it's true. And it's true. We have very strong fighters in the world, fighting all kinds of diseases, mental problems. And if we could just kind of redirect our efforts and energy from the destructive to the constructive, I think that would make a big difference.
Yeah. And even if like they even take it further, we don't have to get to constructive. We just have to pause. Like we just have to do like just pause on the destructive. And as a result,
Breath.
this space that shows up is like, oh, I could do that. And so I do
Yeah.
think we think we need to take these big leaps and these big changes. A practical thing for me, I'm always about the practical, is even just simply, I love pink noise that I use headphones to keep my brain balanced even when I'm just struggling, just turning on pink noise to get my brain reset and in coherence. It's like something that simple. We don't think it changes everything. And like it's life is already lifing and we can partner with it by just getting our own system into coherence and just really see the work that you've done with you said it, the soul body therapy. Is that what you call it?
All body fusion, it's called.
Soul body fusion. Yeah, yeah. That right there is just, I mean, I see in that the embodiment of getting the energy that's all existence in harmony with this vessel that is a tool and an instrument to live a good life. Like you actually get to live goodness here and be good and be love and be all those things that we're just so separated from. I don't know, in culturally, I'm sure it's similar. Like I think we all just had generationally parents that raised us in a certain way and now we kind of learn better and want to do better.
Yes, and every generation should try to be better than the one before them. But at this point, we're at a point where we are getting weaker than the generation before us. So it's important that we maintain as well strength, physical, mental,
Mm.
and it's not easy because food is getting worse. We're getting a lot of people on the planet, so we have less space. Lots of struggles are coming,
Mhm.
but it's important to recognize what helps us
Mhm.
and to allow us to improve ourselves through this,
Mm.
as well as bathing in goodness. So if you
Mhm.
like music, you put on your song. If you like a bath or a sun or playing with
Mm.
children,
Mm.
just doing things you enjoy, and you will be happy, and the people around you will benefit as well.
I love the way you said that, bathing in goodness too, because I always know the value of like salt baths are like a hug for your nervous system, and I haven't lived somewhere with a bath, and so just the concept of like, oh, I could bathe in goodness, like this is still the say, like I'm still giving my nervous system a big hug with this song or whatever, and music
Yeah.
truly has so much power. We do not understand how it takes complete control of our system, and it does matter what we put in it and how we tune to our systems, and so yeah, I just get really excited. I do want to, I mean, what wants to come through again is the question of how long have you been doing the body soul fusion, and then the other question, or soul body fusion, and then it sounds like you said we, as in like it's a team or it's a group, or you've been doing it, like how does that show up in the world?
Yes, so I started practicing this a few months ago,
Okay.
and then I've been doing sessions on people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been very effective, especially when they're open as well as a channel, then
Mm-hmm.
they can receive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been very helpful. And then Sadhguru has been very helpful as well for me.
Mm-hmm.
He's been my teacher from a
Mm-hmm.
distance. And I lived in Vietnam for 2 years. So it was a tropical climate,
Mm-hmm.
ideal to practice yoga. I did the yoga teacher training.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just such a relief to have a master who takes care of you. It's amazing. So I can strongly recommend everyone to find someone who can teach you, who can guide you, who can help you, who is powerful as well and good. Because that's like having a good parent. It's
Mm-hmm.
very calming for you to feel safe and nourished, and
Mm-hmm.
you have a direction to go in.
Yes, and that's actually a big part of mine. So there's a subset of it's called All of Us Live or All of Us Live is another way to see it. And for me, it's been doing the due diligence of content creators and like Sadhguru and other people who have been doing the work and are not in there's the proclivity for some spiritual teachers to get wrapped in the commercialism of healing and really not
Yeah.
leading people to their own selves. And so there's a lot of wounding that I have from people that I've connected with that it's really this people that like when you're in this, what I want to say, resonance, the truth just lands. And so you can really like you and I have had this conversation. We've been able to get through so much in this amount of time. Like there's a trust that I'm able to have with your practices and what you're doing that I can recommend you as someone to explore. I'm not going to tell people what to do. And also it's like he's someone that's vetted out for me. Like this feels good. Not that I can trust you per se with my life. I'm not going to give you my life. I just also can listen and hear and be a space to be in resonance when you're in community and you're doing this together. Like it's when people show up, it's like you're actually doing the work, you're actually embodied in it. And I think that's the thing. You can show up on social media and fake it and really getting to the proof test of people who are embodied in this and actually understand the serious nature of taking care of someone else and how serious it is.
Yes, that's true. I agree.
So thank you for that. And I'll speak this out to another one I love to say, big dreams, baby steps. My love knows no bounds. I love boundaries. And uh, I own my desires and manifest my dreams. If in the event you would love to have like a template client, I'm always a yes to be full of video to show and model your services. I just like a test client, so to speak. So if you ever just want someone to essentially show up and be completely open and work through the practices that you have, just know I'm a yes and I have nothing to hide. So I love to show people and use that as an example. As yeah, that's just something of service that I offer to everyone.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that feels in good there. Okay, either way, website, links, social media, I'll have your stuff linked here. Anything else that shows up that you'd want to tell the planet before we begin or end or whatever this is?
I, I feel thankfulness is the quickest way to happiness as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
being thankful for what you have is the key to unlocking what you want.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. That is a hack. And yeah, I live in gratitude. It's just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything's like, oh, thank you. Like, so I don't share, I haven't clarified my story publicly. Um, Essentially, I had a near-death experience in a psych ward, and I had the experience of being in solitary confinement for the rest of my life because they didn't tell me what was happening to me. And so, with that solitary confinement, it led me, this world is very overwhelming for me because I got to, my body and brain discovered how to come to peace with never seeing anything or anyone again. And so, as a
Mm.
result, it's been like I have a computer. I'm so thankful. Like the color blue, like this is amazing. Like the depth of gratitude I have of like I have headphones and they're not even wireless and I love them. Like the depth of excitement and celebration of just to exist here. The trauma that I faced made it sound like I was never going to. So that experience is just it is rare to find people who live in that state of gratitude and it's actually shocking for people's system quite honestly. And so I agree with what you said is if we want to start anywhere, just being grateful for what we have. And yeah, those faithful with little, that grows. And so being able to walk that out and just again, the practicality you bring to the table, I'm just going to acknowledge and just, yeah, just you're doing it. This is it. How do you be human? This is kind of how you do it, is how I see too. So thank you for being real and showing up. And I talk for an eternity and I just want to be mindful of what we're creating. And yeah, just the beginning is what shows up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Links and all the things. Peace, peace, peace. See you. Bye.